Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Is Difficult, the podcast where things are difficult for us. And we play video games and video game related things and talk about said subjects. I am your co host, Lord Yeshua. My real name is Josh, and we got Paul Ryugami-san. You're on his channel. And 4G's Colin Boy. And there he is.
Colin Boy.
Colin Boy. And today's Colin's last review, I just want to point out on our show. So fucking
his
watch.
last review ever.
His last review ever.
He's gonna die.
His Last of Us review.
Oh, that'd be good. Is it?
No. I can't believe that game won.
Wait, what? Did we already miss it and won?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, dude. The Game Awards for this week.
Won.
We're talking.
Oops.
I don't know why Hades didn't get anything.
It's the
Hades got gypped.
Hades got something. I forget.
Wait,
I should pull up the.
It doesn't buy Hades right now.
Hold on.
Nice guy.
I think it got best. Indie game.
Indie, yeah. It just feels not deep enough. Like it's being like kind of Bastion-y. It's not as deep as a game like Last of Us. I can kind of see that easily getting beat by that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know. We'll talk about it in the segment, right? So anyway, here we are, guys. Did we play any games? Any of us?
Yeah, I played Hades.
Oh wow!
And Phasmophobia got a new update for a new map, which is pretty cool. It was a prison. It was actually pretty fun. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty cool. It has a lot of new like sound effects and jump scares, or not jump scares, but like just unsettling, atmospheric, sound effects. So it was good. I had
Phasmophobia actually won
best debut
indie game.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I think that was well earned.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that game's I don't like horror games, but I will say that game does provide a very unique experience. Yeah. And it definitely like makes you feel like you are, real life Ghostbusters, man.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
it's
fun. I think the immersion is the part that made it special,
Yeah, I think the immersion would be better in VR.
Yeah,
well, it is in VR too. The game
right. I'm just saying
VR.
I didn't play it in VR. I don't have
actually.
the capacity to play it in VR currently.
Right.
But I think I would be shitting my pants.
Yeah. I would be much more fearful if that was a VR experience than on the joystick. And it was still pretty scary on the controller, so scary.
You use controller? I didn't know that. You didn't use a mouse and keyboard?
I always use controller because I'm weird. I just grew up on it. I don't know what to tell you.
I did too.
Dude, I prefer controller in a lot of situations, but like to be competitive in first-person shooters, I use mouse and keyboard.
I've really only been using a PC like for gaming in the last like 2 or 3 years. So
yeah. That's so funny that you're so anti-console gaming now, and yet you're like,
I think just like I've been shown the light. But I do have to stick up for Nintendo always just because they like stand apart in a large way. But like, yeah, for the most part, console gaming is kind of dead in my heart. But like, even the Switch is a handheld, so it's like it stands apart in multiple ways like that. But yeah, this bad boy is coming with me anywhere I go, this PC. So
yeah,
it's definitely like the one console I need to rule them and in the darkness bind them. But,
that's funny.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Did you guys play anything else this week?
What did I played maybe like one session of Hyrule Warriors. I don't know, but that game is great. I just like don't have time to like game really right now. At least this week I didn't.
I played some more of that today, and I like freaking love that game.
I love that game. It's so easy to pick up and put down, though. It really is.
And that's what's great about it is because I can pick it up and do like one or two things and put it down and not worry about it, and then pick it up again right where I left off really easily. And that's also what's nice about the Switch, it being on the Switch, is because like I was playing on my TV earlier, but like I could just pick it up like if I need to take a shit or whatever, go and do like a battle.
It's pretty good in handheld mode.
Yeah, it's great.
And that's the strength of the Switch. Honestly, it was made for adults. I think like really
for people that want to go take a shit and like
take a shower.
Take a shower, put it in a plastic bag or some shit.
Ignore your girlfriend or wife.
Wait, if there was a waterproof case for the Switch that you could play while it was on, I would absolutely buy that.
Yeah, I think everyone would.
And just play in the shower.
Thing yet?
Why is that a thing? You can have that for your phone and shit. Like there's like the life case for the iPhone or whatever.
I think the biggest difficulty would be getting around the Joy-Cons, but I'm sure it could be done.
Just make a new, yeah. I'm curious to see if the new Switch, the new enhanced one, is going to have like enhanced Joy-Cons, like, or is it just going to be literally the same fucking Joy-Cons I could take off my old console and put on the new Switch?
Dude, it would be really foolish for Nintendo not to revise the
Not to,
Joy-Cons.
yeah, not to
After
upgrade it slightly, yeah.
after all the shenanigans that we've gone through with them over the last couple of years. I think it'd be really foolish. I played Hyrule Warriors today. That game is so much fun. Dude, the boss battles are just like such a freaking treat.
Yeah, and then
Like-
they become like mini bosses eventually, and
Mhm.
you're like,
Yeah.
and the real bosses.
Well, I
are
did like I'm still pretty early in the game, so I did like the Revalio or whatever the fuck his
That's
name
the
is, the
first
bird
place I
guy.
went, yeah.
And that not only is that battle super fun, but then
So dope.
you unlock him as a character, and he's a really fun character to play with.
Dude,
Like
that last
flying through the
cutscene-
map. Oh,
The cutscenes are really dope sometimes. Like when he's fighting Link in that one cutscene, Link like cuts the arrow out of the
Yeah.
air. Oh, dude, some of that shit is so badass.
it's so
Like-
good. And every time I pick up that game, it makes me wonder why they didn't do more of this and
especially with the cutscenes.
Wild.
Especially.
Yeah.
I have to say, this game nailed into the coffin that I don't like voice acting in Zelda games. Like I thought I was maybe being kind of childish about it, and when Breath came out, but I actually really don't like voice acting in Zelda games. I think it's so much better as a text-based game. I really don't understand why they need to speak. They
I
always go like,
mostly
like,
agree
that's
with
great.
you. It doesn't bother me that much in Hyrule
Alright.
Warriors.
soon as
It
Link
did bother
talks,
me a
it's
lot
snapping it in
in
Wait, Link is
Breath of the
talking?
Wild.
No, as soon as he does, I'm gonna snap it in half. I said.
Snap
But
the
no,
little SD card.
It definitely doesn't bother me as much in this game because it is a side whatever spin-off game. But yeah, and it solidifies it for me that like I don't want to hear Ganon speak or like any of that stuff. Like in the second one, it's like I don't want to hear Zelda's voice anymore. It's like kind of annoying to me.
Mhm.
Like I really just want no one to talk, and the emotion is like in your head. Then that's kind of how I learned to game, and like I learned to fucking read a lot from Zelda too, playing
Yeah.
these games. These text
Me
spaces
too,
Mario
actually.
Mario.
Especially like, dude,
Yeah.
that was okay. So it's funny you say that because that was my first ever Game Boy game. It came with my Game Boy,
Oh, Link's
and
Awakening?
I'm dyslexic as fuck. It
Yeah,
took me
me too.
forever to learn how to read, and
Oh.
probably the biggest motivation for me to like get good at reading was playing that game.
Yeah.
Like no
Yeah.
joke.
No joke, dude. Yeah, I literally feel like it did teach me how to read to an extent. Especially, I didn't even think about it. I played Link's Awakening before that when I was like 8, and I had like reading disabilities when I was a kid. But like, I always read all the text in those games. So, and fucking Ocarina of Time, like, woo! That was like the most epic tale ever read. Like, holy shit! There was so many. There's like 10 books in that game based of script. Like, if you talk all the side characters, it's like one book. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
But
know
it's a
about
lot
that.
of text. It's a lot of text.
Yeah, that's funny.
It felt like it when I was a kid, at least. But
Right on. Yeah.
felt like book.
Another game I played this week was Onimusha 2, which
Oh yeah, that
was
was awesome to
so
watch.
much fun. Oh my god, dude!
Did you like
Here's the
that?
thing, it's been so long since I played that game. It's literally been since I lent it to Colin and never got it back since I played
yeah,
that game.
Yeah.
has that effect on games.
That
effect
like
on it.
I forgot most of the game. Like
my
there's
name
little
is
bits that are coming back to me, but like it was like playing a brand new game almost.
That's
I definitely forgot the tank controls. Oh man, the controls in that game are
wonky.
dated. They're
the only issue with a lot of these older games is like they're trolls.
yeah. It's eye opening going back to that. I mean, like something we'll talk about here in a little bit is like Perfect Dark is coming back. It's like we had an announcement at the what's that?
Remake?
I think it's a reboot probably. But that's coming back. But like if like go back and try and play the original Perfect Dark.
Garbage.
It's got the same controls as GoldenEye. Which at the time these were like top tier first person shooters. In fact, like Perfect Dark was the best first person shooter.
It felt so good.
You know. You go back and play those games and the controls are fucking bananas. They're so terrible.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I just
Gemini.
think it's
Oh,
really interesting, and I kind of had a little bit of that going on while I was playing this game, but it was so
yeah.
fun, man. Like honestly, I feel like um the Onimusha games, I've said this before, but like they kind of like are the godfather of like Neo and even Dark Souls to a degree and things
Definitely.
like that. Like they really really kind of allowed that style of gameplay to exist, you know. So yeah, good on those games. They're really
Yeah,
awesome games. If
amazing.
you have the patience to relearn tank controls, I would say go
Uh,
back and play them. Or you could play the remake of Onimusha 1. Well, it's not like a remake, it's a remaster, and they redid the controls for it. So, and I think that's on every console. I have it on the Switch, but I'm like
mm,
99% positive. Excuse me. It's on the Xbox and the PlayStation and even on PC. So that's worth
mm,
checking out. But unfortunately, they haven't remastered any of the other Onimusha games yet, which is a bummer because they're better than the first one.
mm. They're just
Still
waiting on
worth
it.
going back and checking out. But
They're
that was
waiting
a ton of fun getting back into. So,
on it. You should
I'm strongly considering doing a full playthrough of that.
do
Wait,
We'll
it.
see.
What? You
Is
weren't
this
going
not
to?
a full
Strongly
playthrough?
considering.
I don't know.
Accept your
What?
consideration, sir. Yeah, if the controls are
Collins
that bad, you don't want
baffled.
to hurt yourself.
Yeah, so
Well,
here's
I'll just play my
the
copy.
yeah.
Yeah, your copy.
Yeah. No,
I
well
told
the
him I was like my copy with the initials PR on it. My
Yeah,
initials.
that's my name.
yeah.
Wait, that's back.
So I mean, it's a fairly long game and I'd only be playing it once a week and I'm still playing through Neo. So like
Sounds
we'll
better.
see if it depends on how long it takes me to finish Neo. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I'll definitely play it next week. We'll see where we land as far as whether or not I do a full playthrough. But I'm strongly considering it. Um so and then if I finish Neo, I can do maybe some nights, you know, some weeknights play some of the Onimusha too. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But when Neo 2 comes out on PC, I'm probably going to be doing that. So, that's in February. So we'll see how much time it takes to get through some of that stuff. But yeah,
Oof. Not too bad.
anyhow, that's the plan.
Sounds good.
You guys want to talk about the Game Awards? That happened this week.
Yes, let's do that.
We kind
Yeah.
of did our predictions last week, and guess what? Our predictions were pretty much true.
Nice.
There are some things I want to talk about because there were some cool like announcements, as there always are at the Game Awards. So but we can just real quick go through the winners or some of the winners of some of the categories.
See what we got.
As you will probably know, Last of
Yeah.
Us Part 2 won Game of the Year. We predicted this. We all disagree with it.
Yeah.
Let's move
Are we
past
just,
it.
are we just haters or like does it
I don't
really-
think we're just haters, man. I
don't-
legitimately like even the
okay.
people that I know that liked the game
we're like,
are like, yeah, I don't think that would be Game of the Year, you know.
oh,
So,
fuck.
but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
politics, whatever. This was rigged from the beginning. Who cares?
Seriously.
Anyway, that's not what we're here for. But we'll talk about some of the other winners. So that Last of Us won a ton of things. It won Game of the Year. It won Game Direction. Most anticipated game is Elden Ring. That's the
the
that's
fuck is that?
it's the next game from Software. So it's
No
the next what you call it? Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Eldenware?
Elden Ring.
Ring?
I
Okay,
mean,
so that
we
sounds
don't
awesome,
even really
actually.
have. I think we've got like a very small.
How is that more
teaser.
anticipated than Breath of the Wild 2? People don't care about that shit. I never even heard of Elden Ring to this conversation.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's
let's
a
talk about that,
so
actually.
Huh?
it is really really highly anticipated. But I would agree with you. I would say that Breath of the Wild 2 or the God of War sequel
Yeah,
or
I didn't
even
think
Halo
that.
Infinite, I would say is
I wonder if none of
another.
these are confirmed is why.
Yeah. Oh, Chamali made a good point in the chat. George R.R. Martin is writing it. So
Yeah.
the homeboy who
That's badass.
made the
Yeah, that's the reason why people are so excited about it.
Yeah.
So wait, he quit writing his own show so he could write a fucking game.
Yeah.
Are you happy about that?
I don't even know. I don't know if it'll be good, but like if it's like a new take on this kind of shit, I don't know. Sekiro was like apparently horrible to play. Like unless
No.
Sekiro's a great game.
Sekiro's awesome.
It's very hard.
Yeah, okay,
It just
okay.
is horrible to play if you suck at video games.
Yeah,
which I
exactly.
do. So
like
I hit a
Cuphead of
wall.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Elden Ring makes me think Lord of the Rings or something like that, where it's like a ring.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like isn't it kind of like Norse mythology based?
I'm not entirely sure.
I'm not
actually.
entirely sure either. But
Mm.
there's
I
really
think
we don't know much about the game at all. Right
We
now.
don't. That's the thing. We don't know anything about
I
it.
would love it
And they're
if they
keeping
did.
it pretty close to the chest in this one,
know,
which
with
is fine. I trust them though. I trust FromSoft. I mean, they do really good games. They're always top notch. You know.
Yeah, they really
The lore
do.
is always really incredible. So they have
Mhm.
a pairing of these two people that I know are solid. Sounds awesome.
Wait, who does Dark Souls from
FromSoft, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, they did all of them. Wow, and Bloodborne and all that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
mhm.
They
I
also
played Bloodborne
did
That's what I, oof.
the Tenchu series and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Why haven't they done like a platformer yet? This is what I want. Something for me. But like something different. Every time I play one of their games, I'm like, okay,
Something for me. You love Dark Souls.
I do. But it's,
Right?
it's kind of just like dark and like you're a warrior and it's like abysmal landscapes and
What
like
the fuck?
monsters and shit. And I'm like, I kind of think like something different would be cool. Like something
Wow,
cartoon.
dude. I'm so glad they don't take advice from you.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
He does a great
It's
job
one
with
game.
their platformers. Let them do that. You know, let FromSoft do their games. You know.
Josh, if this game's not designed specifically for me, it's shit.
I think, wait, just that this could be a cool subject in the future, but I think that some games like the Assassin's Creed series and shit and like concepts like that could use for like alternate types of games sometimes to like see if other people are into like the same type of game.
I get your point, but like also
Kind of
at
like
the
what
same
Zelda
time,
did
if you've
with
been spending,
Hyrule
like,
Warriors.
20 years,
Yeah.
you've been like 20 years like designing one kind of game, and then they're like, well, I'm gonna do this kind of game. Kind of like who was it that did this? The people the creators of Last of Us, actually, they used to do Crash Bandicoot. That was like
wow.
their game, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then they sold that IP and they walked away from that and they did like other more serious games. And they're like, you know what? We're done doing these like kiddie games, whatever they called them, you know? And they're like, we're done doing
Mhm.
these platformers. We want to do more serious games. We feel like that's kind of our calling.
It's
And
my
they
heart,
really
this
switched.
platforming is amazing.
Well, I mean, like Crash Bandicoot did really well. The first one was actually really well. I mean, in fact, the first, I think 3 actually
They
did
just
really well.
rebooted it though. Did they not work on that too? Or
No, they sold their IP. No, they're done with it. They're no longer part of it. So,
okay.
and they did a great job with that, but that's not what they wanted to pursue anymore. So, if they had continued, they would have done great. But I think they wanted to do more serious story-based ones. So,
But
Yeah,
that
and
leads
From
me to-
Software has made a million freaking games.
Oh yeah.
Like
They
they've made a
have
ton of
list.
games in different
Mario games.
genres. A lot of them. I mean, it doesn't look. I'm just looking at a list of games that they've made. None of these necessarily look like
Different.
kid-oriented games per se, though they do have like. Oh, I guess From Software did Monster Hunter Diary
I didn't know
back
that.
in 2010. Very interesting.
That is interesting.
But like, you know, they've done like Armored Core, they did the Tenchu games, they did they've done a ton of different games in different genres. I think their most popular games are definitely the Souls-like
Yeah, that makes sense.
games.
Yeah. They just
So
racked it up.
I think that's just kind of what they're sticking with now. But they've been making games for goddamn ever, and they've got a huge variety of different games. I mean, the Armored Core series is huge. That was a huge series for a really long time. So,
Yeah, no platformer.
yeah, no platformers. No, not that I
So
can
cool.
tell anyway.
Like a Katana Zero, except Dark Souls.
Okay, yeah. There
See?
you go.
Now you see what I'm saying.
Dude, I mean, that
could be
kind of is
pretty-
what Katana Zero is, though, almost.
I know, but I
you
want it made by these guys.
Okay, fair enough.
I want it to be absurdly hard. I love platforming.
Kind
I
of
feel like-
is absurdly
Why is your
hard,
mic
though.
so far from your mouth, Josh?
My
Yeah, I was
mic-
wondering about that too.
What? I said I asked if it was good before the thing. All right, there you go.
It's not.
Okay,
This is
you
my
sound
table.
way better now.
My
We
table
were
is
all
over there. with the
wondering
crystal
You're
about
like,
this.
hey guys, just want to talk to you about.
What the fuck? I've been talking on the whole show like this, you asshole.
Yeah.
Thanks for
It
telling
just
me.
sounded like you were in like a subway tunnel.
All right, I'm back.
All right. Yeah, I was wondering about that. I didn't want to say anything. I probably should have.
Yeah, we're 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, let's get on with some of these things. So let's see. Last of Us won Best Narrative. Ghost of Tsushima won Best Art Direction. I think that's the only thing Ghost of Tsushima won, which is some bullshit. I think
That's bullshit. That's a good award though, but it's also bullshit. There's not more.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Best score and music went to Final Fantasy VII. I think that's totally fair.
I think that's totally fair. Except, yeah.
Best audio design went to Last of Us. That seems a little odd to me.
Over like Doom and shit. Like,
over Doom, over Half-Life Alex, over Ghost of
what the
Tsushima,
hell?
over Resident Evil 3.
Half-Life. Yeah, I can't believe that lost. Absolutely stupid.
Last of Us won Best Performance for one of the characters. Over Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and Miles Morales.
Spider-Verse, come on, no.
Let's see. Games for Impact, which is like games that have like a, you know, some kind of a message.
Social message.
Tell Me Why was the winner of that. I don't have any idea what that game is. I honestly don't think I know what any of these games are. Best ongoing game went to No Man's Sky. I think this is actually well deserved.
Yeah, over Fortnite. I like that.
Yeah, because honestly, I mean, I would have liked to see Destiny win, but No Man's Sky has done such an amazing job of making their game awesome, and then just continuing to give and give and give like more and more updates constantly.
I will say very few times does a game come out and is not great or well received in certain ways and then salvaged completely to be made amazing. And No Man's Sky like really did that. Like truly was not that great in the beginning and then got salvaged, and people don't even remember that shit now.
Yeah. And now it's
everyone that played it hated it back then. They're like,
it's
what the
incredible.
fuck?
And all of the updates they've put out have been free. All of them.
Which is badass.
Including like the entire game being in VR.
That's insanity, honestly.
All the multiplayer stuff. Like
you can get lost in that VR for life. Oh my god.
No kidding.
You can literally never take your helmet off with that game.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Crazy. Best indie game went to Hades.
Congrats.
Best debut indie game went to Phasmophobia. We mentioned that earlier. Pretty cool.
Also well deserved.
I agree. Best mobile game went to Among Us. Best community support went to Fall Guys.
Oh, Fall Guys. That's what wait, what's Fall Guys and what's okay. Fall Guys is like the gooey people.
They're both like weird gooey. To me, they look the same. But Among Us is the one where you're like, you're on a ship and like one or two dudes are assholes and you got to figure out who's the asshole.
You got to kill each other or some shit. Yeah. Wait, what was the award that Fall Guys got?
Fall Guys got best community support, which I think is weird, especially when you have, you know, some of these bigger games that have had like these community teams that have been like really, really responsive to their community for a really long time.
Random.
Like No Man's Sky, like Destiny 2, even Apex Legends.
I'm not seeing any Nintendo yet.
No. So best VR game went to Half-Life Alex. That one's
that's well
no
deserved.
duh. Yeah, that one's that's a real no duh. Though I would say Star Wars Squadrons is amazing in VR allegedly, and I think that one would have been cool. But I still think Half-Life Alex really deserves that one.
Yeah.
Innovation in accessibility went to Last of Us Part 2.
Why?
I don't
accessibility?
know.
It's a fucking only for the PS4. Like, how is it accessible to anyone?
I mean, I'm sure there's some different settings in the game that make it easy for people with disabilities to play it. That's what that category is.
That's so peculiar. Isn't like any keyboard game kind of like that? Because like keyboards are easy for everyone to use.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah,
I don't even understand that. Like, what is that award?
I don't know. Honestly, some of these awards seem made up so that they could give them to Last of Us.
The award for cleanest toilet in a video game goes to Last of Us for that one scene, that one time. It's like, seriously.
Best action game went to Hades. Best action adventure game went to Last of Us Part 2. Now, mind you, this goes up against Assassin's Creed, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and Jedi Fallen Order, and Last of Us won Best Action Adventure Game.
Bullshit.
That one, I think that's more bullshit than Game of the Year. Because we all kind of knew they were gonna do Game of the Year.
Yeah.
But Best Action Adventure Game, like it's very clearly not a better action game than these like pretty much I would say any of the other ones listed.
You're like a slow moving human, like who has like no bullets and like.
And the
you have a
combat's
game.
not very good in the game.
Yeah.
Like it's
No,
kind
that's
of
a really
clunky and-
sad loss. And for
Mhm.
action, Hades, I gotta play that, I guess, because if that beat Doom for just straight up action, that's fucking insane to me.
Yeah.
I can't believe Doom didn't win that category.
Dude, I literally hear nothing but good things about Hades. I haven't heard a single
Okay, I need
person
to
say
download it
a bad
right
thing
now.
about Hades.
I'm
I'll
seeing
see
that.
that thing.
I'll be
right
looking into that game too. Best RPG went to Final Fantasy VII Remake. This seems fine to me, though I still have a hard time giving a remake an award for something.
You know who
but-
could have won this award if they fucking did it right? You know what? Forget it. I'm
Yeah.
not going on about Paper Mario anymore.
Oh, yeah.
This should have been their award.
Yeah, it should have
If
been.
it was 1,000 Year, it would have won this category 100%.
Mhm.
No question.
I think cool.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Give us something
Fighting
to
game went to Mortal Kombat 11.
That's fair.
Family game went to Animal Crossing. That's
Yeah,
Nintendo.
that's very fair.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Good job, Nintendo.
Best
Always
sim
in
went
that
to
category.
Flight Simulator. That one makes sense.
How was it not Animal Crossing again, though, actually? Flight Simulator?
Dude,
That's so
Microsoft
weird.
Flight Simulator is amazing.
Is it?
Like
Alright.
it's
check it out.
actually an incredible game. The new one.
Nice.
Yeah, people have been shitting their pants over that game this year.
Oh.
Best sports racing game or sports/racing game went to
think they
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2
That
remake.
should be 2 categories, personally.
I agree.
Sports and
That should be
racing,
2
yeah.
different games.
That's a huge category. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like sports and then racing. Like
Yeah,
they're 2
racing,
totally different
yeah.
things.
It's like unfair that racing doesn't get its own category. It's kind of
I
fucked up.
agree. Yeah. Best multiplayer game went to Among Us.
What the fuck? That game didn't even come out this year, I thought.
It
This
didn't.
game is
That's another thing that's weird.
Yeah,
to
like
me,
what the
this
fuck?
won
That
so
game
many
did not
years.
come out this year.
Yeah, it came out like 2 years ago.
Okay, now I'm pissed.
Yeah.
That should also been Animal
Content
Crossing.
creator of the year, we don't care. Esports athlete, we don't care. Esports coach, we don't care. Esports event, we don't care. Esports game, don't care.
Okay.
Esports host, don't care. Esports team, don't care. Okay, so those are the
don't
winners of the awards. Let's talk about some of the announcements. Because this is really what I watched the Game Awards for. And there were some cool ones. So Sephiroth being added as a new fighter in Smash Brothers.
Massive. Yeah, as a Nintendo fan, I think that's a knock out of the park. Having Cloud in the game, and then it's like having Link and Ganondorf. Like, it's always good to play as the oppressor.
Mhm.
Like, I think Sephiroth is a ballpark knockout. Like, that's amazing. Good
Yeah,
job, Nintendo,
that'll
for
be
once.
cool.
I didn't know who that was. I was like, ah, cool.
Yeah,
You
that's
didn't
the
know
thing.
who
I know who
Sephiroth
that is.
was?
You didn't? You don't know who Sephiroth? Well, okay, but he's basically the Ganon of the Final Fantasy universe. If that
Oh,
helps.
of Final Fantasy
Never played any
VII.
of those. So.
Yeah, but that's arguably the most known. So it's like
He's probably like he's like
he's the best villain.
the best
yeah.
villain in any Final Fantasy game ever.
Oh,
Yeah, I would agree that.
Some would
yeah.
argue Kefka, but
Yeah, some would argue Kefka, but his look is too like all over the place
he's a
for
fucking
me.
clown.
He's literally a clown.
Literally
but
a
like
clown.
Sephiroth is a guy, and he's like
Mhm.
really methodical.
Super
and, like,
badass.
Yeah,
Has
super
amazing music, like
His sword is
badass
crazy.
sword.
And that
It's
last
like
fight
30
scene
feet
took me
long.
like 3 hours to
Yeah.
beat. Holy shit!
Yeah, Sephiroth's cool. Perfect Dark, I mentioned earlier, got announced.
Yeah. So wait, is that rare? Who's doing that?
It's got to be rare, right?
Got to be rare.
I
right?
mean, it's
very
Xbox
interesting.
announced it,
Oh, come on,
but
give it to Steam. Give it to Steam.
yeah. So actually, the Initiative is doing it. It's not even Rare that's doing it. That's
Oh,
interesting.
wow.
But
That's
that
very
that
weird.
should be cool. They also teased a new Mass Effect game. A lot of people excited about that, but it was like a really
Are people
vague
excited
teaser.
about
We
that?
don't know if it's gonna be set with like the original crew or if it's standalone, if it's a reboot. They basically just said more Mass Effect is coming.
Hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't play those, but I've heard they're
I hear they're amazing,
I hear their
yeah,
game.
they're good.
but with
Well, I
the
heard
exception of
story
like
is, like
the
egregious.
last 1.5 or something.
Yeah, I
Um,
heard the ending wasn't incredible. There was this like hour-long documentary though about like this really interesting like ending of how it should have been, and like turned out not to be any of it true, but it was like very persuasive. It was very interesting actually, and like
Yeah, well, and that's Last of Us
Oh, wait.
3, or not Last of Us, fucking
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect 3.
Hades looks so good.
Mass Effect 3 is the one that people weren't super keen on the ending, but the game that was just a total flop was Mass Effect Andromeda, which came after that. So,
yeah, that was a terrible.
Colin, you'll be excited about this one. Did you see this trailer for Back 4 Blood?
No, I didn't.
Okay, it's Left 4 Dead. It's the continuation of Left 4 Dead.
Oh yeah, Left 4 Dead. But apparently, so Left 4 Dead has this massive following right now, like for the old ones, and they keep updating the old ones and shit. So I'm wondering if like people are going to be willing to.
A new official map came out.
Oh, is that all it is?
Yeah.
It's not a new game.
Well,
it's not a new game. Back 4 Blood is a new game.
That's what I'm saying.
It is like carrying the torch.
It's
not. No, it was announced.
But that game is going so strong right now. Still, I'm wondering if people are going to be like, "Sweet, we're leaving the Left 4 Dead 2 to like go to this new game."
I think they would.
Why not? Yeah, you're right. I guess.
mean, if they got bigger, better, newer, why not? As long as it stays true to the original mechanics, I think people will be all over it. Yeah, and Colin, you were obsessed with those games back in the day.
Yeah,
I can't get around the controls.
Really?
I didn't like them either. Like I didn't like that it was like
stick based.
Well, I don't mind stick based controls. I just didn't like the feel of the gunplay because it was like on the same engine as Half-Life, which works for PC but does not work very well on console. And I just think that it like felt really bad, like just really bad gunplay. But
I agree.
But you know, hopefully this one will be better. Ark 2, the only reason I mention this one is because the trailer is fucking hilariously bad and it's got Vin Diesel in it and it's so corny. You guys should look this up. Look up the trailer for Ark 2. It is so fucking corny.
Ark 2 trailer?
Yeah. Don't watch it right now, but
watch it right now.
Okay, watch it right now. It's super corny. And like the action is just like, ugh, I can't even describe it. There's already a whole bunch of memes about it being the next Fast and Furious.
Really?
Or like Fast and Furious 0 or whatever.
That's awesome.
It's funny.
Oh my god, that's funny.
They teased the next Dragon Age. I don't really know anything about the Dragon Age game, so don't care about that. Don't care about
I returned to Dragon Age game. I was like, garbage.
Fall
Guys is crap. Fuck that game.
Let's see. What were some other games that looked cool that they announced? So there's a new co-op only game called It Takes Two that actually looks really good. It's from the same people who made what was the game where you're like
prison game?
Yeah, that one. What is it called?
Is it
like a prison breakout?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both got it.
So this game looks rad, honestly. The graphics are gorgeous. I'm actually looking forward to this game. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
And it's co-op only. That's awesome.
It's co-op only, yeah.
I like that.
Let's see. Was anything else worth mentioning? There's like a couple. There's like the next 3 seasons, Road 96 and Open Roads are all just like road trip simulators.
That's interesting.
So
it's kind of sad.
And then the final one that really drew my eye was Evil West. Which kind of had like a Red Dead Redemption vibe, but all like vampires and monsters and shit.
Oh wow.
Looked kind of cool.
So I'll take it.
So yeah, there was a few other things. Endless Dungeon was announced. The Callisto Protocol. Not really sure what that is. And then Overcooked with the Swedish Chef.
All right, sold.
Yeah.
If that's in VR, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, dude, the Swedish Chef in VR.
That'd be sick. I would love that.
That'd be fantastic. Oh, Callisto Protocol looks like Dead Space, Chamali says. Okay, cool. So that might be cool. Yeah. I don't have a trailer pulled up, but the screenshot that's here looks neat. So yeah, that might be looking good. So yeah, so we got some cool announcements. No like real
that's what I'm waiting for. The big bombs.
No real bangers, you know?
Yeah,
like
no
I think this is probably the first year in a while that there hasn't been like something truly groundbreaking that was announced at the Game Awards.
Yeah, it's insane.
So Yeah, because wasn't Breath 2 announced at the Game Awards a couple years ago?
I don't know when that was announced, but yeah, they've been like holding that one, and they're just like, yeah, we're totally gonna drop this. Must have been last year, yeah.
It's probably just because of COVID, though, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
I don't know how
like even like the DLC for Cuphead's like been delayed
that's
indefinitely.
the saddest one for me. That one is so fucking sad because I want a physical copy for my Switch really bad of Cuphead, but I only want it with the DLC, and it's going to include that. What I don't get is how there's not a Mario game announced at all. You know, how is there not like Super Mario Odyssey 2 or whatever? Come on.
Dude, Nintendo of all the big gaming companies was the quietest this year.
Which is sad, yeah. But they also like to stagger. Yeah. They like to stagger hard, and they now like to surprise and give you like 1 month until it comes out and then pull it out and be like, it's no longer being sold or whatever. Give us these limited launches or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a real Mario game. Just my next like small prediction, a new Mario game alongside or like a month or two after 3D World reboot comes out, the 3D World Deluxe. Like there could be, just to kind of build some Mario popularity. But then next year is Zelda's 35th anniversary.
Yeah,
so
I think next year's going to be Zelda heavy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think we might get a Mario game just because it seems like they know like it's just going to bring in popularity. But it might just be that remaster, and then hopefully we get a machine gun of Zelda things. Like I want a machine gun at my wallet. Like, okay, we need that triple pack. We need the, you know, whatever, Ocarina of Time and 2 others remastered, just like 64 did. And then like
if we get like a Mario All-Stars of Zelda for the Switch,
I would really love that. I don't care how many games are on it either. I would predict Ocarina of Time, Skyward Sword, and Twilight Princess from the GameCube, or Wind Waker, just to get Wind Waker HD back on there. Maybe that would be really great.
Yeah, I think Wind Waker HD would be a given.
Yeah. I think the Ocarina of Time also, it just like has
those
to be
two
on
would be the main ones, and then the in between one is kind of like.
But they also not promised, but it was kind of like teased that Skyward Sword would get this motion control reboot, and they just did Galaxy and Galaxy got perfected. It's literally perfected on the 35-year anniversary thing. Super Mario Galaxy 1, come on.
Yeah. I'm just like, Colin, are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing with Josh's video?
What's happening with my video?
I'm not seeing anything. It looks fine.
It's just on my end.
I see it on. Whoa, yeah, I see it on the actual
Your audio's fine.
Josh looks. He looks very flamboyant.
What? What's on my color?
That's why I was making faces, because Josh's video has been freaking out.
On the actual like OBS Ninja, but in the actual stream, it showed that.
Yeah,
shows
very
what?
strange. Don't worry about it.
It's
your audio's fine, so that's all I'm really worried.
Oh my god,
that's my child.
That's so funny.
Anyway, you guys have any other thoughts on the Game Awards recap?
I mean, I just don't care for them. Like, to me, that just kind of loses like credibility when it's just like, well, this one's a good one, that's good to win, and it wins, and we're like, yeah,
I hate that.
Kind of figured, you know. So like, what's the point, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And again, for me, the main reason to watch it was for all the trailers and stuff. But to see them like just blatantly like hand every award they possibly could to like one game.
That's so fun.
Especially one that like didn't get the acclaim that everyone anticipated it was going to get, you know?
What's the problem with my thing? I don't understand. Why do I look flamboyant?
It's fine now.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
God damn it.
You're still freaking out. You were naked, yes.
Okay, good.
No, you just got very like pixelated and weird. It wasn't like, it was just the video being weird.
Okay, good.
Don't even worry about it. Colino, you want to bust into your review? The final review from Colin, the last one we get.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us review.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're ready?
Okay.
All right, let me switch to that scene real quick and we can get started. All right, 2 seconds for me. Where is it?
Are we all going to review a Zelda game next week for your last day? Or no?
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Or like, what would you want?
Let's plan this after the podcast. We'll talk about it after the podcast.
On the podcast. Good idea.
People love planning things in front of each other.
All right, here, we're going to switch now. All right. Colino, take it away.
All right. So I had the chance to review Hades.
So good.
Which is a game developed by Supergiant Games, which, as I understand it, they're not quite AAA, like, you know, big, huge, like Grand Theft Auto type bit company, but they're also not necessarily like completely indie as well. Somewhere in the middle, I think. So still an indie game considered, but like a little bit more, because the way the game looks and feels, it's very, very polished. Doesn't feel at all like an indie game, except for maybe the conception of it all. So it was released in early access in December 2018. The full came out this year in September 2020. You can get it for Mac, PC, and Switch, apparently. I played on the PC. It's about $20. I think it's on sale right now, actually, for $20. I think it's normally like $24 or $25.
Wow.
So,
my cart right now.
what did I like about the my
What a question.
what I didn't like, I think, because that's a smaller thing. Well, I think is not like what I didn't like about the game. It's like I don't like these kind of games usually. It's a roguelike dungeon crawler, procedurally generated kind of game where it's kind of always different, you know. I think Binding of Isaac is a good one. Sort of ditto. I'm trying to think what else. I feel like there's one more game I'm trying to think of that really compares
the Gungeon.
Into the Gungeon. That's the one. Yep, Into the Gungeon. Like all those where you basically go through certain like levels till you finally hit a boss. And normally I don't like these kind of games. Like I don't know, I'm just not a fan usually, but this really piqued my interest because it got so much acclaim from all my friends, and I was like, oh, I'll just check it out. I'll just try it, and it's a lot of fun. It's kind of an incredible game. So that's really what I didn't like about it, was just the idea that it was this kind of game that I usually don't like. So nothing to do with the game actually, and more to do with my choice of gaming basically. So but what I like about the game, well, let me just explain it first, I guess. So like I said, it's like a dungeon crawler, but it's set in Greek mythology. So you're basically the son of Hades, and you're trying to escape from Hades. It's the guy's name is Hades, and also the place he owns is Hades, I'm pretty sure.
Like Greek Doom.
He also named his house Hades.
Yeah, I think so. I think he actually did that. So you're trying to escape from there, basically.
It's funny.
Because you're basically an angsty like teenager who's trying to run away from home, and your dad doesn't care because he knows you won't make it, and you're also immortal. So if you die, you just come back. And the cool like gimmick to this game is that everyone's aware of when you die. So like once you die, like your dad's like, "Oh, back so soon, are we?" You know, and like the guy who greets the people that come in that are dead is like, "Oh, you died to this kind of thing," or "You died to this kind of thing. Maybe if you tried this, you would do better next time." So like that to me was kind of an interesting like take on it, you know, the idea that it played into the idea of death, kind of like Dark Souls does, you know, like when you die in Dark Souls, it's like the idea is that you're immortal in that game as well, and you just keep on respawning basically, and so is everyone else in that world. And so it wasn't anything to do with, you know, like, oh, try again. But so anyway, as you continue to die and come back, you actually get new cutscenes and new like interactions, and the like the main world that you start in, it starts to change and morph, and you can actually design it and decorate it. And the progression system is pretty deep. I didn't realize how like deep this game goes actually, because you're basically given like 4 different moves, you know, like a simple attack, a special attack, and then you can basically build on these moves with these things called boons, where if you get to this, like you beat so many levels, basically you see their gods, you know, like Zeus, whatever, and you can call him down, and he'll basically give you one of his powers to use, and then you have his ability based upon the weapon you have. So you have multiple weapons you can get, and each of these weapons you can get up to like 4 different like variations of those weapons with the gods. So like you can imagine how many variations you can get, you know, just from that simple like concept. So like the progression system and the way you can play are pretty deep. It's pretty incredible actually, because I thought it was like a simple like hack and slash kind of game where like you level up, you die, you reset. And to some extent, yes, but like to another extent, it's more like you die and then you're a little bit stronger each time, and you keep coming back and you keep fighting the same bosses, but they recognize you. They go, oh, back for more, you know, and they fight you again. And that's kind of neat because it kept me going in a way that I feel like most games like that wouldn't. You know, like I die and be like, well, I'm just done. But I die and I almost look forward to dying because it's like it'll continue the story, you know? Like things will change and there'll be like more of a progression about what's actually going on. And like more of the story, and that was kind of neat to me. And also too, I love Greek mythology, so like if
Me
you have
too.
any like yeah, so like if you like that kind of stuff, I think you'd really get a kick out of this kind of game, because not only was it a well-built game and the way that it tells its story was incredible, but also that it based on Greek mythology in their own way. um so the gameplay, like I said, is it seems like a hack and slash, and that's kind of what it is, but it's a little bit more than that. You can also have a dodge mechanic as well, but it's a pretty cool mechanic in that you can, or a progression system that you can kind of play to your style of game. And it's all RNG too, though. So like sometimes you don't actually get exactly what you want. You start with the weapon you want once you unlock them, and then you basically can unlock each of the boons, so to speak. And that gives you basically variety. And so there's a little bit of RNG in there, and also each of the levels is a little bit changing and different each time you play through it. Even the bosses will change a little bit too as you play through them. So yeah, the art or the so the gameplay is pretty cool. It's pretty fun. The art's incredible. It looks really good. You get to actually, there's like some vantage points where you just basically get to look out, and it just lets you like oversee, you know, where you've kind of come from and where you're going. And that's kind of just a neat little, I don't know, just a little like throwaway kind of thing they didn't have to do, but they did it, and it turned out really nicely. So the music's incredible. It's like rock. It's like hard, like guitar, like rock music. It's really fun because when you get into a boss battle or an intense fight, it's just going off, and like you're really invested into it. And then once you beat it, it kind of quiets again, you know, and gets to more like serene music. So it really plays with that motif of like the ebb and flow of like action and relief, you know. So like the balance of this game is just, it's just incredible. Again, the sound design was great. It's all voice acted beautifully. So like, and the cool thing is that all of your interactions are unique and based upon how you did and what you did. So if, like I said, if you die to a certain kind of enemy, this guy will be like, oh, you died to this enemy. Okay, well, have you tried doing this, whatever? And it's all tongue in cheek and making fun of you. But then you see those enemies again, and your character goes, time for some revenge, you know, like he recognizes that these are the enemies that got you last time, you know. And so that's kind of, that's pretty neat, you know, that they went that involved with the sound and the design of it. And I mean, like there must have been thousands of voice recordings to get all this. I mean, like there's so much to it. So how long it take? I haven't beat it yet, actually, and I don't know how long it's gonna take. It's really based upon my skill. I got pretty far though, pretty early on actually, but I don't even know how long it's gonna take. I mean, apparently you can beat the game in like 20 minutes, but obviously
Something
first like what?
Well, something that and I don't, you could probably confirm this, or someone else who has finished it might be able to confirm this, but something I've been told is that like if you clear the game once, that's not like really beating the game. Like
Yes,
you
that's
still
true.
need to like clear it a few more times to get
Yep.
like, or maybe even several more times to get like the good ending. And it like motivates you to want to do that.
Right, exactly. And that's what's so like unique about this game, is that it has like a high replay value for it, you know? Where like once you do like beat it in the traditional sense, you actually want to go back and replay it more. There's even like a dating like sim thing kind of built into it as well. Like not really, but like you basically can like give what's that, nectar of the gods, ambrosia to people, I guess. And you can give them to each people and they'll thank you for it, and then you'll basically get a heart and you can fill those out, and then you'll get like special rewards from them and whatnot. So that's pretty funny. It's a kind of, it feels like a throwaway concept, but it really does strengthen the relationships you have with these different people, you know. And anyway, so that, like I said, the story is basically you trying to escape from your father's lair and make it to Mount Olympus, you know, and these gods are trying to help you, so they'll do like divine intervention, and they'll come down and speak to you and give you powers and power you up, and then you basically, once you complete an area and kill the enemies, you have an exit that you can go through, and sometimes they'll give you 2 exits, I think up to 3 actually, and it'll tell you what you'll receive as a reward if you get to the next exit and beat the next area, basically. So you can kind of play to your skill level. You're like, oh, I see that the next one I'll get a boon, you know, an upgrade from a god, so I'll do this one. And sometimes you'll get like, you know, 2 boons in a single one. So you go in there, and then you'll have a choice between the 2, and you'll take one, and then the other god will get mad at you. He'll be jealous, basically, and then he'll attack you for a little bit, and then finally give you his boon as well. So like, I mean, even like death, the god of death shows up at one point too. and have like this little like mini game that he plays with you basically that just randomly occurs. So like there's so much RNG and differences. I mean, I'm sure I haven't even seen the entire game yet, you know, like even though I haven't beat it yet, like even if I had beaten it, I don't think I would have seen the entire game, you know, because there's so much to it and so much variety. Like I can't get over how like how hard they went with this game, you know, like how much they continue to create
like a live ad that we're on top of. Sorry.
What?
I like how there's a live ad in this video.
Yeah, I'm not subbed to Mindari, so it's forcing us to watch ad roll.
But we're on top of the ad. It's so fun. Anyway,
it's that's something that we probably should have considered before using her.
That's so funny.
It's really funny.
I could just sub to my sister. Yeah.
She's live right now. She'd be like, "Oh,
I
thank
see
you.
that.
You got all the bats," or something like that. Anyway,
something like that.
Oh, that might be what happened. Maybe it switched us to the live because she's live streaming. Is she streaming Hades or no?
No,
she's
not.
not.
Horror game. No.
Okay. Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, she's talking to what?
Is she streaming Ocarina of Time?
No, she was the other day.
She like raged hard, dude.
What
she
the
got
hell?
to the witches. The
She got to Komen Kote.
That game plays like shit if you didn't grow up playing it. Like
I don't honestly
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It's another one of those games that like
I don't
looking back on it.
Honestly, I think the controls are way better than some of these dated games we're talking about, like GoldenEye and shit. I don't know, Colin. Don't you think the controls held up pretty good? Is it just us?
I think they do. I don't.
I think they held
but
up
again,
great.
I think because I grew up with them. Like there are some games like Super Mario World. I'm still not great with those controls because I didn't grow up with them. You know, I didn't grow up with my own console. So like I did get to play it, but not as much as like, you know, my friends did. So yeah. So like, I mean, I don't know, man.
Also, the Nintendo 64 controller is one of the worst controllers ever designed.
But the GameCube controller kind of renovated it, and a lot of those games are now playable
is
with
she playing it on the GameCube version? I think she's playing
the
original
GameCube controller. Oh,
GameCube joystick with the N64 controller.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think it's a little rough actually. I don't think it's as easy. I think it's a little too sensitive.
Honestly, I'm fine with the knowledge that the N64 controller isn't the best. I do think the GameCube controller upgraded it. A lot of the games became playable on it. Still not some like Diddy Kong Racing and shit, but like I think if she has the chance to play with the GameCube controller or like even an Xbox controller on emulator, I think that's even better than using the N64 controller. Literally one of the most uncomfortable controllers ever made. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that. We hijacked back to the Hades review.
Yes.
Okay.
Just love Zelda so much.
And then, so is the game difficult? Yeah, I mean the game is difficult, but I think probably anybody who has enough, you know,
brain power.
You know, like just like if you just like you get stronger over time. Like your character just gets stronger. There's also a God mode too. You basically can turn on God mode, and the game basically. I didn't try it, but apparently it just like helps you out, makes the game a lot easier, and it's for people who just want to play the story, which is pretty cool. You know, it's like, hey, you know what? We understand that maybe you don't want to play it the way we intended it to be played, but you want to get the story, and you can do that. So
that's cool too.
Yeah, it is really cool. Like there's a lot of like just like little things too that you don't think about, like a lot of polish in the game. You know. Like the way it works, like for example, like you know, my controller died in the middle and then just paused the game. That was nice. Like you can control
very nice.
You control the dead zone of the controller. You know, the sensitivity of the controller. You can control that. Mine has a really bad dead zone basically, and the controller will kind of like drift a little bit, and so I can basically turn the dead zone quite a bit and then feel like I have a decent controller at that point. So like,
that's amazing.
Just like little things here and there that make the game feel like a AAA kind of game. You know. Overall rating and impression, I would say, probably a 9 out of 10 at least. I mean, again, I don't like these kind of games normally, but like this was pretty cool. I think a big part that made me really like it too was that it was Greek mythology. I don't know if I would have played as much or been as invested if I didn't already know the characters a little bit, you know? So I wouldn't know if I've been like, oh, I want to see more of the story without actually knowing the characters already. So like, maybe that's the only thing that I think that's one of the big parts that really like drew me into it. So not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying like that'd be my only like criticism, I guess. So
I mean, I think it's a good choice. Everyone knows at least a little bit of Greek mythology, right?
Exactly.
So like picking those characters is a good choice to like draw people in for sure.
Right. So yeah, overall though, definitely worth buying. I mean, if you can get on sale, obviously get on sale, but like you can get it now too. You know, it's on sale right now. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun though. Like definitely recommend it. So, if you're looking for a fun kind of game, and if it's not a game that makes you think you'd like, I mean, I think you will. You know, I don't think you'll be disappointed with it. If it's the kind of game you think you'd like. So,
Yeah.
or sometimes you see a game, you're like, I think I'd like that, and like, yeah, you probably would. So,
You probably would, yeah.
Yeah.
So, both of you guys should play this, though. I think. So.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it. It's in my car right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Does that
really
that
good.
wrap up the
That wraps up the review.
wraps up the review? Very cool. Main scene
Last
here.
review ever.
Yeah, that was
Last
Colin's
review.
last ever review. Yeah, I'm
Oh.
looking forward to trying that game. Like, I'm in the same position as you, Colin. Like, it's not something that I would typically like latch onto. I have played plenty of games like that, but like twin stick shooters aren't really like necessarily my jam.
Yeah.
But I can't deny like the feedback that I'm getting from absolutely everyone that's played it.
exactly.
And they're
why I
like,
need to play it. Yeah.
it's freaking goddamn amazing. And the fact that it was able to contend with these other AAA games for Game of the Year and,
Huge.
you know, several other categories as an indie game is humongous. Like, I can't
agree.
think of any other indie game that's really
Cuphead.
given these larger studios a run for their money like this. You know, Cuphead. Did Cuphead win Game of the Year?
I don't think it won Game. Well, neither did Hades, but
Well,
I think
was it
Cuphead won.
nominated?
I think it won a bunch of awards. I think it might
It
have been
probably
nominated.
did. Yeah.
I think it was nominated, but I'm not 100%. 2017.
Yeah. I mean, Cuphead is an amazingly well-made game, but it also wasn't indie, wasn't it?
Was it?
Wasn't it Microsoft that put it out?
It was MDHR Studios or MDR.
Yeah, but wasn't it
I don't
like
know, was it
highly
Microsoft?
funded by Microsoft?
It may have came out on Xbox first and then been spread out to the other guys.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Nintendo's only now getting. Nintendo literally doesn't have it even now as
Yeah, it does.
cartridge. Well, as like cartridge, I
As a
meant.
cartridge,
So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
only downloadable, which I guess counts. Yeah, for a lot of them. But
Right.
yeah, this game, yeah, I got to get it. Literally, anytime I hear hype about an indie game, it's usually worth getting just based on price tag. Like if you're paying $20 or less for a game that can give you a 10 out of 10 experience, or like Colin's saying, it's literally a 9 out of 10 for him. Like, I don't see why I wouldn't play this, considering it's not a 60+ tax game that I have to play on only like a certain platform or whatever. Like, you know, you can get this anywhere. Like, you play this on the Switch, you said? Or no?
No, I played it on Steam. On the
Steam.
controller.
I'm probably gonna get it on the Switch.
The Switch sounds like a nice option for me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be great for both of you guys. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So let me know what you guys. I'm actually really curious what you guys think too. Like seriously, I want to know
Yeah.
what your thoughts
Yeah.
are.
Excited.
Oh, very cool. Well, I think that wraps it up for us this week.
We're all probably a little hungry.
And we're like right at an hour, so this is perfect.
Oh, we did good.
So that was fun. Next week, what are we doing next week?
Colin's last show.
Is next week your last show, or is it the week after?
Here's the week after.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
what
it's the
the
week
fuck?
after.
You're
I think
teasing
Colin's
me,
got
too.
2 more.
The week after is Christmas.
Is Christmas on a weekend? Are we
Wait, so
skipping a
what is
week?
today? The 13th?
Let's look at
the
a calendar.
20th?
Who's got a calendar?
Oh, no. So it'll be the 27th is your last day.
Yeah.
Sounds right. Okay. So it's not
Yeah.
bad.
So the 20th, though, we're
Is our
doing
next show.
our games of the year.
Yes.
And what that's gonna, we're each of us are gonna pick 5 games that we played this year, and
Should we do different categories?
announce. I don't think we're gonna do categories per
You wanna
se.
do like we have one.
I think we're
game
just
of the
gonna
year
say
to
what our favorite games we played this year were,
make it
and they
easy.
don't have to be games from this year. So like
Okay.
as long as you played it this year, you can
I
count
played
it
a
on your
lot.
list.
2020 was a massive gaming year for me. Like
Yeah.
at least in the beginning. Oof.
Yeah. I would give the caveat of if it's a game that you've played a million times before since your childhood,
What?
maybe that doesn't
Wait,
count.
what game are
Maybe
you hinting at?
kind of lean towards games
played
you've never
every
played
Zelda
before.
I played every single Zelda game and Mario game this year.
Sure, and that's fine. I'm just saying, what I meant by it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
a new game. It has to be a new game to you, that you
yeah.
played. Yeah.
Top 5 new games that you experienced. Yeah.
Mhm.
This year.
So
That's
yeah, we'll be doing that, and I think we'll have an expanded cast next week as well. I think
Ooh,
it's gonna be the 3 of us and Zach.
Oh, money.
And then the following week, I believe, is Colin's last stand, and then
he'll maybe come back every time.
Mhm.
Just fun. Cameo appearance by Colin.
Exactly. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming today. If you
Thanks,
let's see, podcast, boom. If you want to follow us, there's our where you can find us on our Twitch channels. If you're watching us right now live, you're watching on Twitch. This is my channel where I stream from. I stream on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, as well as I do Samurai Saturdays. I always play a Samurai game on Saturdays, and then
He's
obviously
beating
the podcast.
Onimusha too
Yeah.
on stream.
Yeah,
He's
I'll
definitely gonna beat it
probably do
live.
a full playthrough of Onimusha.
One
Let's not
sitting.
lie to us.
One
I
second.
did do a full playthrough of Onimusha 1, so it would,
Perfect.
it would
The
only
fair.
be fair for me to finish Onimusha 2. So we'll see on that. And then if you're watching on YouTube and you enjoy our content, please share it. Please, please, please. Like, we need to get the word out there on YouTube.
Say words
Um,
about us.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where you can find me. You can also find me on Twitter at Ryugami Sama if you want to, shout profanities at me or something like that. You do that.
Gotta do that now.
Josh, where you at, man?
Yes, Lord Yeshua T. Well, no, just regular Lord Yeshua, and then Lord Yeshua TTV on all my thingies. But I haven't really been streaming much lately at all, and I
We're
don't know. Maybe
campaigning to get him back into it.
we all
Yeah,
want me to get back.
and-
People
into
like
it.
were asking on your
His
on your
community's chomping at the bit.
They're
Dude,
chomping at the
They're
bit.
banging down
I
the
know.
doors.
I need it to be the right time.
Discord.
The right time, the right game.
The right game.
Yeah.
Even
for
just
sure.
sitting down kind of hurts my back lately. So like,
Well, you need to get a
maybe-
proper setup, like a
Yeah.
gaming
Maybe
chair.
on a couch.
not a-
chair.
I don't know. It's an
Yeah.
idea.
maybe not a couch. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
That's
part of
what
my
you
vibe.
It is a good vibe. We like
yeah,
the vibe.
Couch guy.
Yeah.
And Jane, come on.
Colin, how about you, buddy?
I don't stream anymore. Bye.
Yeah.
No.
Colin's leaving us.
Give him your money still.
Um,
Ortiz
Find
TV.
him on
I
Discord and
apparently
harass
subbed
him is
to
what you should do.
I still subbed to you by accident this month. Or did it get canceled?
I think I'm
no.
still subbed to you
Jesus
too.
Christ, don't do that, guys.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
don't do that.
unsub.
Can
I
have
need
my
to
money?
unsub
You
for
Venmo me
Colin.
$5.
Christ.
All right, stick around. We're gonna raid Mandari since we used her.
We're just admitting it. We're just rating her. We don't have a choice.
We could raid my friend Brent, Bearded Gamer. He's playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
We have a big Call of Duty following here.
Is she playing
Oh,
Ocarina
Josh
of
did the
Time?
weird thing again. Josh is doing the weird thing again.
Oh,
Yeah, he's been doing it on and off all stream.
His internet's so
fun.
crappy.
Yeah, they just had to reroute my internet because it like dropped the other day, and it's like, we still shit.
Yeah, I'm sure
Fun.
it's great.
Wait, is she
Why
playing
is-
Ocarina of Time?
No, she's playing some scary game.
Damn it.
Have you
I
ever
bet
seen her
you-
ad before?
Why
though?
does this keep
Pretty
doing
funny.
this?
Have you ever seen? She has 2 ads. Have you ever seen them before?
She has 2 of her own ads.
Yeah, they're really funny. I helped her with them.
What?
They're really funny. It's
How
like
does she
the
get ad
have you ever-
space?
There we
well,
go.
there's a thing for she's
Oh,
about to play it actually. Hopefully we get there in time.
Well, we'll be there in 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone have a good night. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, let's see if she'll play it. She's about to. I think she's about to.
You can book 'em.
Gotta watch.